Hey guys, thanks for joining me on our midday stretch. It is downpouring here. Not sure if it is where you are on this lovely 1st of September day. What we're going to do is stay on the floor today, and we're going to start with some shoulder retraction. We're going to start on all fours, hands stacked under my shoulders. I'm going to first drive my chest to the floor, pinching my shoulder blades, but not bending my elbows. Notice how my chest is now more forward, but my elbows are straight. I'm pinching my shoulder blades. Now I'm going to push my hands through the floor, push up towards the ceiling, pulling my shoulder blades back apart. Once again, elbows don't move. That's a pretty important indicator for us at our facility. Can you get a scap retraction without bending your elbows, right? You've got to have some good body awareness. Understand how to pull through your shoulder blades, mobilizing those shoulders, mobilizing that mid-back. Keeping my hands stacked under me is important. I'm strengthening my mid-back, but also mobilizing it. Can't get much better than that. Pushing away and then pulling together. By now, I would hope you have somewhere between 15 to 20 reps. When we're done there, we're going to rock back into child's pose, reaching forward, pushing my hips into my heels. I'm going to come forward, exhale, intentionally exhale as I drop into that cobra. Inhale as I pull back into that child's pose, leaving my arms right where they were, just mobilizing us a little bit. Inhale. Exhale onto cobra, looking up, stretching out that whole front side of our body. We're going to try to get 5 of them. Inhale, big deep breath in that child's pose. Exhale as you go into cobra. Now, you don't have to breathe as dramatically as I am for you. It's just to help you understand the breathing patterns. But sometimes, as you notice with yogis, it is nice to hear your breathing. That way it's intentional breathing. You know you're doing it. Instead of just thinking, I must be breathing, I'm still alive. We're going to come into a high plank. So I'm going to leave my hands right where they are. I'm going to tuck my toes under into a high plank, squeezing my butt. I'm going to push my hips up into the sky, pushing my head through the hole, and then I'm going to rock back and forth, heel to heel. Once again, we're just mobilizing that body. We are going to do a little bit more core strength work today just to get your muscles going. Back into plank, feel that load on the whole midsection. Dropping back. We're aiming for at least a 5 to 10 second hold on each end of the movement. So heel rock for 10. Plank for 5 to 10. Breathing. We're going to aim for 5 of those. When we're done, we're going to stay in that high plank, and we're going to take our left leg and pull it all the way up to the side of my left hand. Feeling that good groin stretch. If you'd like to, put the right knee down and then push through your left foot, leaning into that so you get that real good groin stretch. I'm going to lift my knee back up. Bring my left back to join, bring my right, drop that knee, drive my chest forward, pressing through my hands, feeling that good hip stretch on my left, groin stretch on my right side. We're going to go one more time each side. Left knee back up, switch that groin, really mobilize those legs, right? Dig that toe back in, lift that knee, left leg back, right leg up. Last time here. Breathing. Hopefully that feels good to you. I know it does on my hips for sure. Good. When you're ready, you can just come back down to your knees. We're gonna go on our belly for a little bit of shoulder and back work. We're gonna do a face down W to Y. This seems simple because it's body weight, but you really want to focus on keeping the work out of your traps, right up here. And you want to focus on keeping it right down in the middle of the back, okay? So rule number 1, squeeze your butt. Make your butt tight so you don't overuse your lower back. Rule number 2, relax your head down on your mat or your floor or a pillow if you prefer. You're going to bring your elbows down to the sides of your ribs, not up high like by your shoulders. So they're kind of directly next to my rib cage. I'm going to have my thumbs up at the sky. I'm giving thumbs up. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades together, low and tight, not like this, low and tight. And then I'm going to bring them up as high as I can, pinching into that W position. And then I'm going to exhale and push up into a Y. W's to Y's are what we call these. It's a really great way to stretch out the front of your shoulder and your pectorals, your chest and the front of your body, and activate all those smaller muscles that should be helping you sit up straight when you're staring at that computer screen all day, right? Strengthening the shoulder blades, strengthening the rhomboid muscles, strengthening the posterior delts, the backside of the delts. We're gonna aim for 15 of those. Good. Those should feel more difficult than you might think they would. Okay, so we're going to go into a high plank again, getting a little warm now. I'm gonna come back up, hands stacked under my chest. Toes duck in, right? Now I'm gonna go pull my left knee up into my belly as high as I can to my chin almost, right? Get as high as I can, and as I push back, I'm gonna reach up at that sky, stretching out my hip, pushing my head through the hole. Inhale, exhale. We're gonna try to get 10 on each side. Breathing through the movement and really exaggerating the pull up. Trying to feel those abs, feel your back, your spine rolling, and then pushing up, stretching, getting that reprieve at the top end. When you've gotten 10, go ahead and switch sides. Right knee, extend, pull, breathing. Getting 10 on each. You should feel warm by now, right? Got your blood flowing a little bit. Okay, we're gonna go back down to our bellies and we're gonna go for a quad stretch. Now, a lot of times people will not feel this stretch. There's ways to intensify it. So I'm gonna cradle my head with my right hand and I'm gonna reach back with my left and grab my ankle. Now, yeah, I'm getting like a little bit of stretch, but if I wanna make it better, I'm gonna squeeze my butt cheek on that left and then pull my heel even deeper into my butt. The engagement of the glute, your butt cheek, helps to relax the front side of the body. Taking some deep breaths. Not thinking what's next on your list of things to do. We'll go for at least a 20 to 30 second hold here. We're not huge into static stretching, but that quad muscle gets real tight. It's always nice to just give it a little time to itself. Inhale, exhale big through that mouth. If you're by yourself and you don't care what you sound like, I do suggest you trying hearing yourself breathe, because it definitely can be really relaxing. I think that's probably why yogis do it. Good, breathing. All right, we're done there. We're gonna flip over on our backs. We're gonna do some kickovers, right? I really like this for hip, especially with women. Women tend to get really tight in their hip areas. I'm going to first pelvic tilt, right? So keep my lumbar compressed on that ground, hands pressed in. I'm gonna straighten my right leg, leave my left leg bent over. I'm gonna turn my toes, my right toes open towards the right side of my body, right? Not at the sky. And I'm gonna lift the leg and then make the biggest circle as I can, up and around. Turn it back out, up and around. Really mobilizing my hip joint. Remember, as I've said 1,000 times, it's a ball and socket joint. It should have free range of motion, but it does not for most people, right? So try to get 5 going away, right? When you've done that, switch directions, right? My hip's nice and warm now, right? I'm feeling heat in that hip. Tuck my pelvis, leg now straight up, and then reverse the direction. You might hear some cracking on one direction or another. For me, going this way, my hip cracks a lot. We're gonna try to get 5 each way. I don't have any pain, so I don't mind doing it. I'm gonna tuck my pelvis again. We're gonna start with that first version, toe pointed out, big swings, if I can do it without hitting my fireplace, and back and around. Angle around, and back and around. Right, really challenging yourself on that mobility, keeping your lumbar on that ground. That can be the hardest part. We'll get 5 and then switch directions again. Up, opening, pressing through that floor, getting that hip nice and warm. Awesome. When we've gotten 5, we're gonna bring our feet back up under us, activate those glutes, right? You want your glutes nice and activated, especially when you're sitting all day. Like, you don't want those babies going to sleep all the time, so let's get them firing. I'm gonna tuck my pelvis, spread my toes, grip the ground so my arch is not touching, just the rest of my foot is, right? So there's a little space under my arch. Squeeze my abs and then squeeze my butt as hard as I can. I'm gonna count down from 10. While I'm here, I'm really just focusing on pushing through that floor, squeezing my butt as hard as I can. And relax. Tuck that pelvis again. Bring your left leg to the center line of your body. Lift your right leg and do the same thing single side, right? Make that left side work a little harder. If you need a little extra support, put your hands down into your mat. Squeeze your butt, push away. We're gonna count down from 10, keeping that arch off the ground, squeezing that glute, pushing those hips up, not getting any lower back pain. If you are, go back to the doubles, the double-legged. Relaxing back down, tuck that pelvis, right leg dominant now, left leg up, push through that floor, squeeze that butt as hard as you can, keeping that arch off, reaching towards that sky with that glute, activating glute and hamstring, breathing. Good. You're probably also getting a little bit of a stretch on the front side of your body. Okay, shoulder cars, shoulder mobility. I'm going to face this way so you can see me well. I'm going to start with my hands, and the positioning of your legs is up to you. I'm going to have my hands in front of me, fists, strong fist, no elbow bend. We're going to pretend there's walls on both sides of our bodies, right? So I can't let my arms come this way because I'd hit the wall. I'll show you both views. So I'm gonna have fists up, straight as I can, as far as I can in that position. And then when I get to the point where I can't go any further without rotating my wrist, all the way back, hands down, right? Avoiding those walls. And then we're gonna come back. Same thing, let me show you this way. Thumbs, right? Walls on either side of me, right? I can't go any wider. When I get to my max, I flip my hands and put them right down beside me, right? Right back around. Good. I'll go for at least 2 to 3 of those. It should feel really good on your shoulders. It should not feel bad. We're gonna go into no monies now. No monies are a great one you could do every single day at your desk. Takes very little effort. You can add a band to it over time, like a skinny, medium to easy resistance band, and it's to activate the middle of your back and to take the work off our shoulders. Our shoulders do too much. So palms are upright, shoulder blades are compressed. I'm not allowing my elbows to leave my side, and I'm pinching my shoulder blades. I'll show you a different view. Right, elbows in, squeezing your shoulder blades, waking up your mid-back again. By the end of this, we should be warm. We've done quite a bit of activation stuff as well as some stretching. Squeezing my shoulder blades. If you were to aim to get 20 of these a day, I guarantee you'd see a change in your posture. Just different muscles coming to play instead of always being over here, right? Squeezing those shoulder blades. Breathing for 20. Remember, we're trying to keep the work out of our traps and keep it down in the middle of our back. Bring our chest forward, boobies out. Always works. Good cue. Okay, so last one. Deep squat thoracic spine. So if you're down on your mat, take your hands in front of you, bring one leg up at a time, and then you're gonna try your best to get your heels down, right? And sit into that deep squat. This alone for most people is really challenging, but if you're there, fabulous. I'm gonna push into my right hand, and I'm gonna reach up with my left, pushing into this knee to help me, right? Reach, pushing my knees out, stretching my lower back, stretching my groin, my knees, my ankles, my shoulders. Honestly, one of the best you can get, right? Left hand down, left hand pressed into my knee. Breathing and opening. Awesome, breathing and opening. We're gonna go one more each side. Exhale as you reach. Should feel really good, and when you're down here, you can always just get some rocking, right? Rock around, mobilize those hips. Once again, a great one if you could aim to do it every day, okay? Thanks so much for joining me.